Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking about you and your business. Got my very good friend, Congressman Bill Flores. He is almost like a regular on this program. I do consider him a contributor to The Price of Business, representing Texas' 17th Congressional District, but kind of my surrogate congressman as well. And I'm very proud to call you that. How are you, Congressman?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Great to be with you on The Price of Business.
Man, I really appreciate how quickly you responded. I saw the article, I think Thursday or Friday, in the Huffington Post, where you were speaking boldly and bravely about the prospect that Congress really needs to look seriously at the possibility of impeaching this president. We certainly have plenty of reasons to do so. And as soon as I saw that article, I said, I got to get Bill on. And sure enough, here we are, very early in this week, you taking the time to be with us. We're grateful for that.
Well, I'm glad to be with you, and it is an important subject. We've had several of our constituents tell us that they feel like the president needs to be impeached, and we've also had the subjects come up at town hall meetings. So I tried to address the question head on.
Let's talk a little bit about that. How did it end up happening that you were addressing this topic to a place like Huffington Post?
Well, I wasn't talking to the Huffington Post. I was at a town hall meeting in Bryan College Station, Texas, and one of the questions had to do with impeachment. And so I walked through the constitutional process related to impeachment and tried to make sure that everybody understood what the opportunities were for success with impeachment and also what the hazards were if you failed. And so I tried to walk the crowd through that, and then after that I held a vote among the crowd to ask them what they thought would be the right direction to go.
Yeah. And obviously one of your constituents, or maybe not a constituent, just a reporter or something, was there and passed it on to others. That's
correct. There's a person who has who came in with a camera. I mean, there were several people who recorded the town hall meeting, and one of them recorded it, and he posted it on BuzzFeed, and then that bastion of objective journalism, the Huffington Post picked it up, and then even Chris Matthews of the MSDNC picked it up yesterday and called me part of the GOP hatred crowd. But he only posted a small clip. He did not post the full video.
Yeah, and of course that's like the ultimate compliment for anyone is to get dissed by Chris Matthews. Man, I wish he'd come out. I wish he'd call me out by name and diss me.
When I ran against Chet Edwards, he put me on his Dirty 30 list, and that probably got me some votes.
Awesome. Well, I think it's exciting, and I'm glad someone's talking about it because so many people are kind of tiptoeing it. And if you look at the 3 articles of impeachment that were waged against Richard Nixon, Nixon had nothing on this guy.
Well, that's true, and what I've tried to do is look. This president has violated the oath of his office many times, and what I said in the meetings, I walked through the constitutional process. I said, in all likelihood, the House might vote for an impeachment, but then I said the next step is you have to take it to the Senate, and we are not likely to be successful in the Senate, and so you have to decide. What's the right solution? Do you really want to try to press something when you know that it's not going to work and that you might put yourself at risk by putting Nancy Pelosi back in the Speaker's chair? And so I ask our audience to vote, would you rather go for impeachment knowing that it's not likely to work because you won't get 67 votes in the Senate and put Pelosi back in the chair of the House, or would you rather just let this dog lie for now? And the votes in all of the town halls were let the dog lie for now, but they do at least understand what the risk-reward profile is of going that particular direction. So, I mean, we had an open and objective conversation about it. Some people want to walk the cliff and try impeachments, others don't, but the ones that didn't were the ones that prevailed in the votes in my town halls.
Yeah. Let me ask you, has there actually been articles submitted yet by any member in the House?
No, sir, not that I've seen. I know some people have talked about it, but I haven't seen them. And even I didn't hear it firsthand, but I heard that John McCain did say that if the president went into Syria without the approval of Congress, that would be an impeachable offense. Now, whether or not that really happens, whether or not he really said that, I don't know. I just read that he said it. So.
Yeah, how would that be any different than, if he went in the way he went into Libya? I mean, if he chose the same methodology of using drones and that type of thing, how would that be any different? And, of course, no one was crying impeachment then.
Well, it was still, he violated the Constitution when he went to Libya, and he also violated the
Shocking, Congressman, shocking.
Again, he also violated the War Powers Act. The War Powers Act says that the only incident under which the president can move unilaterally without the Congress is in the case of a clear and present danger. And Libya was not a clear and present danger to the interest of the United States. We did have a vote in the House, and I voted no to prevent the president from going in Libya, but he went anyway. And look at what kind of a mess he made. I mean, as of tomorrow, it'll be 1 year from the date that we lost 4 Americans in the consulate attack in Benghazi because he left Libya in a destabilized state, just like he's left Egypt in a destabilized state. He's left Iraq in a destabilized state because he pulled out so quickly because he couldn't negotiate a status as a forces agreement. He wouldn't help the folks in Iran that wanted to have the Arab Spring in Iran about 3 years ago. So, I mean, his Middle Eastern diplomatic and military strategy is just a mess.
Have you made a tally of how many grounds of impeachment there might be on Barack Obama overall?
No, sir, I haven't, because, again, I don't think it would be a successful effort to do it, and I think it could.
Yeah, but it's an interesting intellectual exercise, though, don't you think?
Well, it is. Now, others have, and they've got pages of them, but, again, I think we as members of the House need to be careful in picking our Alamos and our San Jacintos. I mean, I would like to have every battle be a San Jacinto, but now in some cases it may be worth having an Alamo. But for the time being, let's try to pick San Jacintos so that we are victorious and we don't wind up damaging our House majority and putting Pelosi back in the Speaker's chair. If we put Pelosi in the Speaker's chair, there is no firewall anymore in the United States Congress to prevent this administration from being totally unfettered in the things it would like to do to the American economy.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, was Republicans hurt back when they tried to impeach Bill Clinton?
We'll say that again. I'm sorry.
Were Republicans hurt back when they tried to impeach Bill Clinton? I don't know if the history shows that. Even though it proved to fail, were they harmed by that?
We were hurt by that. Yes, we were. It didn't. Fortunately, we were in a stronger position in terms of majority sizes, and right now we are not in the same position, and so I think we would be hurt. Again, this president also, we've got to remember, he's really good. He and his surrogates are really good about throwing down every sort of a card they can. I mean, it might be a victim card, it might be a race card. There's no telling what would happen, and the folks behind an impeachment effort, I think, would be vilified. I mean, look at what Chris Matthews tried to do to me. I was trying to get a 360-degree view of what goes on with impeachment, and he's trying to vilify me, and I didn't even say the president should be impeached. I didn't say that. So,
right. All these guys were really, they marched in an ideological lockstep, goose step approach when it comes to these things. They get their marching orders, they follow them, and being open to various ideas and really trying to fill out what the thoughts are of your own constituents, because if nothing else, this is the most controversial president in modern history. I don't see any harm at all in what you did. In fact, it seems like that was your job as a congressman.
Right, and my job was to try to walk our constituents through the process and to seek their feedback. And I will tell you this, a strong majority of the crowd thought he ought to be impeached, but when I walked through the possibility of the outcomes, they said it would be better to maintain the House majority and not move forward to impeach him. So
what's the likelihood of the Republicans winning the Senate in the next election cycle? I'm thinking pretty optimistic.
I feel pretty good, too, as long as we don't have any dumb moves. I mean, we've got to be careful. I mean, for instance, if we were to decide to go heck bent for impeachment, that could hurt us. If we wind up shutting the government down, I think that could hurt us when our military men and women don't get paid. I think there are things we've got to be careful about. If we're thoughtful, I think if we act like statesmen, if we try to continue working to defund Obamacare and to stop Obamacare and to continue to try to reduce the size of the federal government, make it more accountable and efficient and stop the abuses, I think we've got a good chance to win the Senate, but we've got to be careful about which bombs we throw and which ones we keep in our pocket.
Maybe spend the last 2 years impeaching Obama?
That's
Do I sound like a one-trick pony today, Congressman?
Well, that's above my pay grade right now. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. The best thing to do to restore the America that we all desire for our kids and grandkids is to win the Senate and have both houses of Congress stand in the way of the president's liberal agenda.
It certainly would help. Bill Flores is a great congressman. If every congressman and senator had shared his views, we'd be such a better country. Bill Flores is, again, congressman from out there, the 17th District of Texas, and keeps up a great fight, and I always enjoy having you on the program. I appreciate your friendship, both to me and to this program.
Kevin, great talking to you. I'd ask our listeners to continue praying for our country, our military men and women, our first responders.
Thank you so much. When we come back, more for you. Do want to remind you, of course, the best content here. It shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.